Did Dungeons & Dragons kill Uni the Unicorn? Plus other things you might have missed about the upcoming 2024 core rulebooks.
There has been a murder, and you are a suspect.
This week, Game Informer released an 8-page feature about the upcoming 2024 Dungeons & Dragons core rulebook. The article contains a ton of tidbits and new information about the upcoming Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, and Monster Manual, and we're here to break them all down for you. So, without further ado, here are 10 things we've learned about the new Dungeons & Dragons core rulebooks. Number 1, Greyhawk is back. Game Informer confirmed that Greyhawk would be the featured campaign setting in the Dungeon Master's Guide and would be used as an example for DMs to show how they can build out their own campaign. There will be a section showcasing Greyhawk and explaining the world to DMs, and the DMG will contain a 2-sided map, one featuring Orth, which is the world of Greyhawk, and one featuring the city of Greyhawk. Number 2, Uni is dead. Probably. Okay, that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but the 1980s D&D Cartoon characters will appear in the new rulebooks via various illustrations. One illustration showed off by Game Informer showed a swole, grown-up Bobby the Barbarian, now sporting a unicorn tattoo on his arm. When coupled with Presto looking longingly at a carving of a unicorn in a dungeon they're about to explore, we're assuming that Uni met a terrible fate between the time of the cartoon and the present day. Hashtag save Uni. Number 3, Valor's Call returns. Valor's Call, the heroic group of adventurers made up of characters from the 1980s toy line, appears on the cover of the new Player's Handbook, with Mercian, Strongheart, Molliver, and Elkhorn protecting Yolande from the Greyhawk setting. They're joined by both a gold dragon and a red dragon, as well as a few kobolds, one of our favorite D&D monsters. Number 4, Raistlin and Caramon are back. Another pair of confirmed characters appearing in the core rulebooks are the brothers Raistlin and Caramon from the Dragonlance novels. The characters will apparently be battling a wyvern in a piece of artwork which was not revealed by Game Informer. Now, we'll note that the brothers did not make a significant appearance in the Dragonlance campaign books. I can't even remember if they appeared at all in even a piece of artwork in those books. So this seems to be a part of D&D's intent to embrace the lore surrounding their core settings, something that they didn't do with Dragonlance back a few years ago. Number 5, 75 feats. There will be 75 feats in the Player's Handbook, which is almost double the number of feats that we got in the 2014 Player's Handbook. Assumably, many of these feats will come from books like Xanathar's, but this is still a pretty big jump in feats and should really help to boost character creation.
What we have is great strength of feet.
Number 6, red dragons are gray. We got a glance at the redesigns of the red and bronze dragons in the Game Informer article, and it included an interesting tidbit. Per former D&D designer Dan Dillon, the underbelly of the red dragon has tones of gray in it to help it blend in with all the smoke and clouds that surround it as it destroys cities and belches fire. Number 7, a new spine treatment. Moving forward, all of the 2024 core rulebooks and future rulebooks and campaign setting books and adventures and all that jazz will have red spines instead of the red and black treatment we've seen up to this point. It's one way to separate 5th edition books from whatever we're going to call the new revised edition. Number 8, how bastions work. We got a couple of new details about bastions, which is the new castle building system included in the DMG. Players will take bastion turns in between adventures, allowing players to build up their castles and dictate how they want to customize their headquarters. It's a way for players to build out the world and add new elements to the table through something besides having a backstory. Number 9, new monsters. The Monster Manual will contain 500 monsters, 75 of which are brand new. Those will include low-level and high-level vampires for different party levels. Also mentioned is the Elemental Juggernaut, a massive construct that can crush a building with a single step. Number 10, the Aasimar are a core species. Joining the Goliath and the Orc as core species in the Player's Handbook are the Aasimar, which are described as plain-touched by Game Informer. Assumably, these are a replacement for the Ardlings, which are those animal-headed species that got cut from the early parts of 1 D&D. So those are 10 cool things that we learned about the new core rulebooks, which come out later this year. Let us know what you think in the comments section below, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.